Hi everyone, it's Jackie, and I'm back to finish up and share with you how I made the rest of the pages for my 8.5 by 11. I think I've got my stuff all together now, so it's not going to be so confusing. I apologize, I'm not normally that scatterbrained. Reading my notes, just didn't make sense. Trying to videotape and do it at the same time. Just wasn't having a good day. So I'm back and we're going to start on, we did page 1, back of page 1, front page of page 2, and we're going to now continue on with the back of page 2. So again, your pages are going to be 8.5 by 10.5. Actually, your pages are going to be 8 by 10.5. I'm sorry. And your album is actually going to be an 8.5 by 11 because we're going to add a 1/2 inch to give a 1/4 inch on each side of the album. So 8 by 10.5. And now we're going to start with the back of page 2. So the first piece you want to cut is you're going to cut a piece of cardstock 8 by 10. And then you're going to score it at on one side for your hinge at a 1/2 inch. So, and of course, I've already scored mine, but I'm going to redo it with you here. Get it down in here in the camera, so I'm not off camera. So we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch. Okay, you're going to fold over your hinge. Now I have rounded my corners off because that's what I wanted. And again, I am using our art glitter glue to for my pages, and I'm going to go ahead and just miter the corners on this because it is a full page. Okay. And line it up on the edge. Now this is going to line up on your right hand side, which is going to be your, when you put it in your album, it's going to be on the hinge. So make sure it is. Okay. The next piece you're going to cut at 7 by 8, and after you score it on the 7-inch side, you're going to score it a 1/2 inch down, okay, which is going to make your final page. Fold that over. Your final piece of cardstock is going to be 6.5 by 8, and again we're going to add this now to the right hand side. Oh, I probably should have mited those edges, and I didn't. So I'll do it real quick here. Okay. Add a little bit more glue. Alright. And you want to line it up on the left hand side. And this will be up against your top of your page. Alright. So there we have 2 flaps. So this one's going to fold over, this one's going to fold up. Okay, your next one is going to be another flap, and you're going to cut this one at 5 by 8. You're going to score on the 5-inch side, 1/2 inch down. For this, fold over, and again, I'm going to miter the corners. glue. And just put it right on top of the other one. And this is one of the reasons, if you can see, why I said I'm not going to have tags inside, because my pages are going to be bulky, because of the different layers that I have of the different flaps. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing the inside tabs. I'm going to actually close those off once I put it on the hinge. Okay, so then your next piece, you want to cut, let's see, what did I cut this at? It's going to be a pocket, so you want to cut it at 5.5 by 5. So go ahead and you want to score it on all 3 sides. So you want to score it at a 1/2 inch going down, up, flip it, score it again at a 1/2 inch. Okay. And then score this one, flip it over down on the bottom, and score it again at a 1/2 inch. Now I did use the decorative punch on the top of mine, and that's very optional. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a pocket right here. And I did round my one corner here so I can match it up to my corner down here. So add our glue. And go ahead and match it up to your flap. And make sure it's staying good. And then I cut another piece, 2 1/4 by 4.5, and this I'm going to put on top as a second pocket, but I'm not going to add it on because I didn't add enough to make the hinge, fold it over to make the pocket hinge to make it an expandable pocket. Because of the amount of bulk, I'm going to keep it flat, so I'm just going to run a very small bead of glue along this, the 3 sides, okay? You can also use the 1/8 score tape, run it around and bring it up over this way, and then go along the edge of the score tape with your bead of glue, and that will help secure it down so when you put your little inserts in, it doesn't stick at the bottom. Now I'm not going to glue this on right now because I have to have my paper here. So I'm just going to show you what I have here. So I'm doing that. All right. And then I'm going to glue it down on top. Have a little book here. And then I'm going to be able to put one of my calling cards on top. So that's the way that's going to look. So you want to add your magnet here. And I want that in the middle. I'm going to use the paper clip to kind of hold it on for me so I can have my magnets on there. Again, you can measure it or you can eyeball it. And I'm going to eyeball it. Okay. Magnet out. Alright, so it's going to go right there is where it caught, right above the pocket, so it's not going to interfere with the pocket. Lay it flat. Oh. Yeah, that's what I thought. You gotta be a little bit careful. That's why I like using the artesian papers, because it's nice and thick. So by not gluing it on, it's gonna twist on me a little bit. So I want to make sure that I have it just right. All right, there. So when I go to glue it on, my paper on, it's gonna be right. So take that off. Add a little bit of score tape here to this one. Add a little bit of score tape here to that one. And then good to go. There. Okay, that's page 3. Front cover of page 3. Okay, sorry. Somehow I elbow clicked on the mouse and I cut off the video. So we're on the back page of page 3. Let me figure out now what I was doing with this one. So, it's interesting what I'm doing, huh? I told you I'd be ready, and I don't know if I am or not. Okay, I see what I'm doing. Okay, so, I cut 2 pieces that are 4.5 by 8, alright? And I'm scoring them both at 1/2 inch. So what I'm making is like a gatefold, okay? So, what I plan on doing is, and hopefully I can kind of show you so it kind of makes a little bit more sense. So, okay, let me see what I did. So there's my base page. And then I'm putting this one on here, like this. And I'm gonna put this one on here. Actually, I think it was this way. I did it this way. Alright, let me see. This one on here. And this one on here. Okay. Wrong. Alright. This one here. Okay. This, and then this. And then I'm doing a gate off of this. And a gate off of this. That's what I was doing. See, this is what happens when you that one's not even the right one. Guess that would help if I didn't have the right one on there, huh? Okay, like that. Was I doing this? Not sure what I was doing there, folks. Okay, I'm putting this one on here. Like this. Okay, I gotcha. I know what I'm doing now. Phew. Crazy, crazy. Okay. So I'm doing it this way. And then I'm doing it this way. Like this. Alright, your gate pulled this way. Yes, that's what I was doing. Okay. Makes more sense now. Alright. So you're going to open it up. So you're going to have, this is going to go here in the middle. You're going to be able to open it up and you're going to have that and then open. Okay. Alright, so what we want to do is, sorry. Okay. 8.5 by 8. Okay. On the 8-inch, half-inch side, you want to score it down the half-inch line. So you paper, and once you fold it over, you're going to have an 8 by 8. 8 by 8. Okay. You want to end up and now I have to turn mine around just so it works for me, so I can see. So this is 10.5. So you want to go like 1 1/4. So 1 1/4 is this one here, and this one here. And that should be right in the middle. Okay. I promise I'm not going to be, hopefully I'm not going to forget what the other pages I was doing. Alright. So that kind of brings that over here. It's flush with the one below. You're going to put this one in here. So that's going to have that. Then you're going to come up and you're going to have this on here. Alright. And then you're going to have, we're going to cut 2 4.5 by 8s. You want to make your half-inch hinge. That's going to make it 4 by 8. Alright, that one. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to take these pattern designer papers off because that's just going to confuse me a little more. So, when you add these here, you don't want them overlapping each other. So, I want to make sure that mine don't overlap. You can have a little bit of a space in there, but you don't want them overlapping. And I've got one, these are not the right size. Okay. So I cut one down and I didn't cut the other one down. So what I've done to kind of leave some of the bulk is I'm going to cut off 1/16. Exactly what I did. Yeah, 1/16. Okay. So you want to kind of center it. It's not going to meet top to top. Okay? It's going to give you a little bit of space in between the top and the bottom. And then you should have a little bit of a space, not much, in between the two. And so what I've done is I've cut 1/8 of an inch, or 1/16 off of each one of these, so they're not overlapping. Okay. So, I'm going to flip this over here. Alright. And you want your adhesive in this inside of the flap. So, nope, so I haven't. even space on both sides, top to bottom. So I've got a little bit of space on both edges. Okay. And the reason I'm doing this, I'll tell you why. Because these gatefolds make a nice way to showcase your calling cards. You can have the vertical ones or use the horizontal ones. They make great stops for these. Alright. I want to make sure I'm lining them both up even. So I'm getting them both on the same. Turn over. Alright. That didn't seem to go down there. Yeah, I guess it did. Alright. So, here's what we're doing. Going to have this one here. This here. Alright. And then I'm going to have my, turn it that way, these here. And then this is going to be a great place for one of my 3x4 cards. So, and then I would adhere this and use this for a magnet. So you pick this one up, or you can do it this way too, whichever way you want. So that's my intention there. Again, it's going to give you plenty of journaling. I love these papers just for the journaling. So that's going to go in there. Fold that over and like that. Okay? All right. Pull these out so I know what I'm doing. I don't lose them. All right. Now, back side of 3. We just finished. This is our front side, and this is our back side. Okay, let's move on to page 4. Let's see if I can remember how I did this one, huh? All right. Let me see. Oh, another easy one. So, you want your 8x10 page. Your opening on the front, on the left-hand side. Cut you a piece of paper, cardstock at 6.5 by 8. 6.5 by 8. You're going to do your 1/2 inch hinge on your left hand side. Okay, and then we're going to put it right here in the middle. Okay, so alright. And again, I'm going to eyeball it because that's going to give you a 1/2 inch on each side. 1/2 here and a 1/2 here. Line it up. Okay. And then we're going to add another 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. And you're going to 1/2 inch hinge. And we're going to put it this way. Make it a little bit different. Add your glue. Okay, you're going to eyeball it again, or measure it. So, 4 1/4, it's about 1 1/4 on each side. 3/4 on each side, sorry. Okay, so, do our magnets. Okay, what I like about these when you do it this way, you can always put your little tab here to open it, and then it's going to open this way. Just gives it a little bit of a different look, but still lots of room for journaling and for photos. And that's the whole purpose of this book, is I wanted it to be some flaps and some, you know, different areas to flip open, but at the same time I wanted lots of space for those winter photos. Or this one could even be for Christmas. It depends on what you want. So there you go. So it's going to go this way. You're going to have a little bit of journaling here. You put a nice big picture here. And then you can, again, nice picture size for here. And then you can have, you know, angled a couple with some journaling spots on either side, or go your 4 little ones and journaling down the middle. Be cute. All right, let's flip it over. The back side of page 4 is, all right, let me get this off. So, let's see what I got here. All right. For some reason I went ahead and I glued these, and I'm not sure why I did. Okay, so the first one, I see why I did it. First one, you want to cut it an 8 by 8. 8 by 8. You're going to score it on the one side of the 8. So it's a 1/2 inch. And what you're going to do is we're going to put that on top. Alright. And then you've got your second flap. You want to cut 8 by 6 in your 1/2 inch hinge and match it up to that side. Second one is going to be an 8 by 5.5. So when you score it at your half and add it on, you're going to have an 8 by 5, an 8 by 5.5, and an 8 by 7.5. Okay. Remember, your opening is on your right-hand side, but because I'm flipping it over, right now it looks like it's on your left, but it's not. It's going to be on your right. Okay. All right. Now, okay. And what you can put pockets in here too. You know, you can put small little pockets in here. And I may do that when I go to decorate it. It just depends on what and that would be a great place to hold some mats too. You can even put a pocket here and hold mats here. It all depends on what you want to do. And sometimes I don't add pockets until I'm actually decorating, because I don't, it's just me, I guess. So, okay. Add my magnet. Here. Add it here. All right. And there's the back side of page 4. Front side, back side, and then you can always add a flap here to pull it up. You could even cut this a little bit shorter if you didn't want it to be 7.5 or 8 to match down here, so that way you could flap. So But you can also put a flap here, and it's going to tell people to pick it up too. So, all right. Let's move on to page 5. All right, so page 5 is actually going to be another easy one, not too complicated. So what I've done is 7 7/8 by 8 1/2. So when you score it, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch for your hinge right there. Okay, and this one you're going to put up on the top. Now, what I've done is kind of matching up with the front one. So I 1 1/4. Sorry, I'm trying to see where I want to. I'm going to fold that in for right now. All right. So all right. So you're going to make this at, line this one up at 1 3/8. Okay, is where you want to put this one on the side. So. One and 3/8. Okay. Yep. Okay. And again, you can cut this a little bit shorter so you can have a tap. And I may just do that. So here was my game plan on this one. So I'm going to put that on the front, this on the bottom. Okay. And then I was going to put these on either side of it. Maybe I was going to do it that way. I was going to do it that way. And then I probably will go ahead and add this on top and do a card in the front. So that's that one. Okay. And flip it over. And this one, all I did was cut a piece of cardstock, 11 1/2 by 3 1/2. And I scored it on all 3 sides. All right, so I'm going to end up with a pocket that's 3 inches high by 10 1/2. And I'm going to just put it on the bottom here. And what I'm doing on this one is just I'm going to make tabs in here, and then my back cover is going to be the same. It's going to be just an envelope with some extra photo tabs. So a little bit simple, but I wanted to be able to, I have the 6x6 book, so I want to be able to use all of that pad, majority of that pad, as photo mats. So again, this is going to hold lots and lots of photos, especially great if you have a large family and you have lots of those Christmas photos, or even a lot of outside winter activities, you know, the skiing and this tubing, stuff like that, ice skating, you know, holiday of lights, out making snow angels, building snowmen. Be a great photo album for all those photos. So Alright, there you go. That's the last of it. I'm going to go ahead and decorate my pages and finish up my album and show you how I cut my album. It is going to be a little different. I'm not going to have the flap over. My album's going to come here, and then it's going to have the two sides. And then instead of flapping over, I've made it where it's just come here, and I'm going to connect it with some hardware so it's right off to the side. A little bit different, but hopefully it's going to look good. So I hope this helped you. And again, I apologize for the first video being a little bit totally off the wall with me not knowing exactly what I was doing. I was even asking myself, what the heck are you even trying to do? So I apologize for that. And hopefully this made a little bit more sense. And again, a couple of little extra boo-boos, not checking, exactly knowing where I was going, but that's what happens when you're trying to design something and then recreating it on video. So it's not the easiest, but I have fun with it. I love doing it, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Thanks.